Hi, Mike Mallory here, and today I'm here to do a free music lesson. The name of this lesson is Major Scale Two Ways, and it's named in honor of the two living legends of the bass whose teachings inspired it. That would be Carol Kay and Jeff Berlin. They also happen to be the two living legends of the bass that I have actually personally met. I had the great fortune of studying with Carol several years ago, and there's just no way to overstate the influence that she had on my playing, the way I interpret and hear music. Really, there was a clean break in my musical life before her and after her. Her influence was that profound. And of course, Jeff Berlin, who for decades now has been astounding the world with his technique and talent, and is considered by many to be the greatest bass player who ever lived. So the studies that I'm going to show you, I think that if you apply them and study them diligently, they can really open up the way that you hear music and play music, and can really transform your musicianship to the next level. Now, first we'll start with the Carol version. Now, when most people think of practicing major scales, you have just kind of that basic up and down stepwise motion. And indeed, a lot of timeless music has been made this way, a lot of children's music and a lot of Christmas carols. So, for example, you have etc., etc., and you can find hundreds of examples of this. But what we're going to do is we're going to take those same seven notes, and we're working in the key of C here, so pretending that you're using all white keys on the piano, we're going to skip every other note. So we're going to go from C to E to G to B. So we've got C, E, G, B. So that's the first part. Then we start on the next scale tone, on the D, and do the same thing. D, F, A, C. Next we have E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, and B, D, F, A. And so really what we've done here is to take those simple seven notes, and now we've made seven chords out of them, which comprise the complete diatonic harmony in the key of C. So that's the basis of your harmony in Western music. And a way to make this really pretty is to start ascending on the first chord and then descending on the second, ascending on the third, descending on the fourth, and so on. So we've got very pretty. And again, this really opens up your ears to the harmony and how the relationships of the notes sound against each other. And the beauty of it is you don't need a metronome, you don't need an accompanying track. You can just play these exercises as is, and it will develop your hearing. Very important is that you play these exercises very slowly. For a couple of reasons. One, because if you can't play something cleanly at a slow tempo, you won't be able to play it cleanly at a faster tempo. But two, really the object of this is to really hear what you're doing and to develop, sort of the muscle memory, training your muscles to play these different positions and patterns. So really, it's kind of like similar to typing, where you go for the accuracy first, and once you get the accuracy down, the speed will naturally follow. So if you need to take 10 seconds in between notes to get it down, then by all means do so. Let them ring. Because it's not a race. Okay? Now, the great thing about bass is since everything is tuned in fourths, you can instantly transpose anything you play into another key just by finding your new starting note. So if I wanted to take that pattern and play it in a more so-called difficult time signature, let's say F sharp, no problem. Because I've taken that same pattern and just found my new starting note. So that's the Carol version, and now to the Jeff Berlin version. We're going to do the scale in different intervals. So back to our starting scale. That would be considered playing it in seconds because it's all a stepwise motion from bottom to top. But now we can increase the intervals. We'll go to thirds. And this is like the beginning of our chordal scale exercise, except we're not going to go all the way to the top of the arpeggio. We're just going to keep going. E, G, F, A, G, B, A, C, B, D, C, and back down. And now we get into some more interesting sounds when we go up further and do it in fourths. And you notice that when we do it in fourths, you're staying on the same fret and just going up to the adjacent string, except for the fourth scale tone, we actually go to the flatted 5. But all the rest of them are parallel, straight up and down. Going to fifths, again, we're going to do perfect fifths all the way, except for the fourth scale tone again. Seventh scale tone, I should say. My mistake. So we've got C, G, D, A, E, B, F, C, G, D, A, E, B, F, C, G. Okay, on to sixths. This is one that Jaco Pastorius used to practice and use. So we've got C, A, D, B, E, C, F, D, G, E, A, F, B, G, C, A. Very lyrical and very pretty. Then we go to sevenths. And your sevenths are, kind of one note below your octave. And this one's pretty easy to remember too, because on your first scale tone and on your fourth, you're going to have a major seventh, which is one fret across here. All the rest of them are going to be parallel and skipping a string. So we've got C, B, D, C, E, D, F, E, G, F, A, G, B, A, C, B. And then finally your octave. So that's the lesson. And again, like I said, practice it slowly. And if you stick with it, play it in different keys and really hear the intervals and the notes that you're playing, I think it's really going to make a really big difference in your musicianship. Thank you very much.